Hello, love bug, and welcome to another episode of The Doucheless Vegan. My name is Carla Collins. I'm a newbie vegan. I'm the vegan protege, and this is my vegan Yoda master, Michael Stewart Webb, our host.
Tell me, Mawa.
I will tell you, darling, as you know, there's going to be a lot of darlings being thrown down because we've been obsessed with Halston. We've been calling each other Halston and Liza.
Oh, yeah. Such a great
now.
show. Truly phenomenal show. I had no idea that Halston led such a ridiculous life.
I didn't know much about him, but I'll tell you, Ewan McGregor, he did some acting.
He really did. He was spectacular.
Holy crap. I found myself wearing like turtlenecks, a lot of bronzer like today, and slicking my hair back just to be like Halston.
No cocaine yet.
No, not yet. Not yet, but as the summer months approach, kidding. But we were joking that you and I were Merv Griffin and Ava Gabor, but
yes.
No, we're Halston and
Oh,
Liza.
yeah, this is so much more appropriate.
So Halston and Liza.
Oh, I know. It solves the drug addiction and alcohol addiction.
So far.
Yes.
The pandemic came close, but now we're clean again.
Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, such a phenomenal show.
Loved it.
Tragic end, though. I had no idea. What a waste of talent, all gone up his nose. It was...
Yeah, really shows to go ya, as my mom would say. Boy.
Totally.
And again, a lot of creative minds. But I'll tell you, the dialogue, I don't know if that's how Halston spoke, but I'm stealing all of his...
He had
when
some
this
clutch lines.
Moby person was walking in his office, he's like, darling, I have to go. An egg salad sandwich just walking into my office. We've been quoting him the whole time.
No.
Yes, you were a great designer back when the earth was still cooling. He was the king of shade.
I loved it, too.
So good.
Loved it. Of course, as his addictions took over, he became increasingly more horrible to everyone in his life.
Well, that's usually the trajectory.
Well, don't I know that? Haven't I been with my fair share of addicts?
Well, we've all banged an addict.
That's true.
Let's be honest. And by that, I mean been in a relationship or marriage with one.
I know. I have to do something about my attraction to the bad boys.
Oh, well, we are doing something in that. I am always going to be present in your life and
You're
chaperoning.
vetting everybody from
Absolutely. No, I'm very, and I take this job as your, by the way, if you're new to the show, so Michael and I are sort of new friends in some ways, and we instantly became gay fiance and beard. I came here for what was supposed to be a few weeks, and I've been here for over 8 months now.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, during the pandemic. So, Pandemic. That's the name of my album. Sorry, Freudian slip. You should get it, though.
You should.
Pandemic.
It's a great album.
Which we'll talk about later on, along with some of your fabulous baller projects. But, so yeah, we started this because, so I come here, and I think I'm only going to be here for a few weeks, and I'm like, dude, if you're vegan, I'll eat vegan. I'm a big animal lover. I've tried this in the past. I was pretty much pescatarian. Mm-hmm. So it was, and I thought, hey, when in Rome. And I really love it. And, I'll tell you more about that in a second. And we thought there was really a corner of the market not being filled because God bless vegans who are changing the earth, helping the environment, stopping cruelty to animals, making everybody healthier. But they're douchey.
They are
They're often
douchey.
You don't have to convert everyone like a missionary. It's creepy.
No, it's true.
So we're here just to say, here's our experience. Mm-hmm. Here's what we think is fabulous. If you want to just have a meatless Monday, if you want to go, by the way, we've been reading report after report that if you're just 80% plant-based, you get pretty much all of the benefits of being full vegan.
Yep.
Full throttle vegan. So that's pretty great. And our lover, Tom Brady, is, for example, 80% vegan.
Yes,
and we found out that the Beckhams have recently gone David and Posh. Victoria. Spice Girls for life.
Anti-posh.
Exactly. So, I've really been doing deep dives into this because once I get into something, you know me.
Oh, you're like a dog with a bone.
I am. I'm like a cult member. I will go full in. And look, there are a lot of conflicting reports. Also, Michael and I are not doctors, even though Michael has been a lifelong vegetarian/vegan. So you need to do your own research.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the reason listen, everybody has different body chemistries, blood types, hormone situations. So it may not be for you, right? And I always like to say that because food is such a tricky thing. And unlike alcohol or drugs, speaking of Halston, you can't quit food entirely. So it's
No, you can't.
but a lot of it is poisonous. So 80% of illnesses are caused by food. 80%.
Well, and that's not entirely a big shocker. And you and I were having a conversation just the other day about a speaker that you had happenstanced upon,
Yes.
who's a proponent of a plant-based diet, and how he's getting his ass kicked out of even a whole bunch of vegan conventions because he just speaks the truth.
Yeah, and he says he has turkey every 2 years and they don't accept him. Like, this is...
Oh, it's just ridiculous.
It's becoming like liberals and conservatives, Republicans and Democrats. Like, for God's sakes, have a dialogue and make some exceptions.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do here, right? We're just trying to disseminate information, and allow people to articulate their own decisions.
Yes, as you should. It's your body.
Absolutely, based in information. However, make sure that, if you're seeking out information, that you're getting it from a reliable source.
And there's really a lot of conflicting reports, Michael.
Of course
because
there
as I
is.
look at
Of
it,
course
some
it is.
people say this, some people say that. Some are being subsidized, some aren't. It's exhausting, so you have to... But I'm
do your
just
research.
encouraging everyone to try it out for themselves, because before going into more stats, so I'm like a good guinea pig, where for me it's been since the end of September, or let's say even October, that I've been full vegan.
Yeah, about
I
that.
don't half-ass anything, as you know.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm
Well,
in, I'm in.
You adopted the vegan lifestyle almost immediately.
Because you make it easy, which is another reason we're doing this show, because there's like life hacks and you've done all the trial and errors. And because of you, because I had like an emotional support vegan, I found it extremely easy to follow.
It's super easy.
Which I know as people hear this, that's why I say even try 80-20 or slowly introduce it, because I get how it's overwhelming, or you think you won't have a social life. On my new joke, I've become vegan. Don't worry, I was already an asshole.
It's a great joke.
It brings the house down on Zoom. Yeah. All right, I expect it does. But for me, guys, my skin is ridiculously good, and that's everybody's got their bugaboo, right? Stuff that they've for the first time in my life, and I know it's funny because I'm in my late 30s. American. I don't have to wear zit cream at night.
See, that's incredible.
Spectacular. And I think your skin, my hair, as you can see, not unlike your hair, we have combined more hair than like a village. And your body tells you. Also, ladies.
Of course it does.
Because I'm a 14-year-old boy, I don't like to talk about this, but if you have issues with your and flow or any other hormonal concern, I know, but totally it balances your hormones.
Yeah.
At least it certainly did for me. And that to me is worth the price of that mesh.
Of course. And if you think about it, as a result of factory farming, the animal products that you are consuming are doped up on hormones and steroids. And of course, that has to have some kind of impact.
How could it
long term
not?
on your own hormonal balance?
Because it's not regulated. They're supposed to just use it if the animals are sick, but they're using it to fatten them up.
Well, because
it's horrific what's been going on. And it's all changed since the 60s. Like this one doctor was saying how he was looking at a picture of Woodstock. So Generation Z and Millennial Woodstock was a music party. No, like what was that, 1969? I honestly don't know.
It was late 60s.
It
was late 60s, yeah.
And he's looking at a picture of thousands upon thousands of, let's say, teens and adults, not one overweight person around.
Well, it was a completely different era, right? Fast food was a treat, not a staple, unlike our lives now.
Fast food and sugar are death.
Of course they are.
I can say it,
of course they are.
Me, but they are. It's awful.
100%. And back then there typically was only one parent who was working, and oftentimes mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she was preparing healthy meals, and people typically ate at a table
together at home instead of in a restaurant.
Yeah, ate as a family. It was cultural. It's through the advent, I think, of all predicated, of course, in capitalism. Through the advent of fast foods and processed foods, we've started over the course of time, I think, diminishing the quality of the food that we're consuming, and now we're realizing that it has quite an impact. What were you saying to me, that 40% of the entire population in the U.S., and this is mind-blowing.
Yep, this is America.
Think about those numbers for a second.
40% are obese.
40%.
Not overweight.
Not overweight, obese.
80% are overweight.
Unfreaking believable.
Obese.
Just think about those numbers for a second. Like, what's the population of the U.S. right now? 360 odd million now, approaching 400 million people.
I think so, yeah. I was going to say pushing 400, but so, I mean, and there are reasons for this. First of all, they can't label when a product's GMO. Like, if you think about
which is messed up.
I mean, even, the funny thing was skin and hormones were also clear when I lived in France. And by the way, I wasn't vegan, but they're not putting all kinds of shit in their food. And they have laws against it. They have laws against it in China and Russia, not exactly known for their transparency, but they can't just slide in. There are products in foods, and I can't remember because they're all high glycerocopafane. And I'm not here to do this. We're just here to entertain and give you some facts. Stuff I can't pronounce, which is always an indicator, that are deemed as poison. It's literal poison, right? That you can't put in anywhere else in the world, but are in American and North American foods.
It's crazy to me.
And so the whole "you are what you eat" that you've heard forever.
Oh yeah.
So we're literally poisoning ourselves. And I mean, I get it. So is alcohol, so are toxins, so are cigarettes.
Well, Jesus, you know what? Like,
and we're also saying, like, live a little. That's the whole thing too. Like, you always want to have treats.
Of course.
French fries are a treat. They're vegan. That's not the best thing you can eat, but you also YOLO. But I mean, I think when it comes to all this food, and then really interesting, dairy is down quite a bit now, and you have to know that the biggest lobbyists, I mean, way bigger than oil, are the food lobbyists.
Of course.
And they're also doubling down, like people in charge of agriculture and the FDA are also in charge of, like, it's political, like,
it's incestuous.
It really is. And so you have to understand that that's a big lobby. So the dairy industry is way down in one area. People are still having cheese, because I get it, cheese is delicious, yogurt, but milk. Even way before I was vegan, I hadn't had milk for 20, 25 years.
I think the whole notion of ingesting secretions from another mammal's mammalia is really kind of vile. Every time you say
that, it is vile. So so be aware, since these farmers have surplus milk, they're hiding it, gross old milk, in the yogurt and the cheeses and what have you. Now, again, you don't want to have a ton of soy and almond, because there's some stuff in there, but great for your coffee, great every now and then. Nothing's going to be perfect, but I can tell you that almost all the doctors, they'll differ on. Some of them say you need a little bit of animal protein. They all agree dairy is the worst. Yeah. All of them, no matter what.
Wow.
That's the one thing I just because I've been listening to it and trying to find, and again, as I say, they will differ on some things. They all say it should be 80% plant-based for sure.
As a bare minimum.
Yeah, and then it divides off. Some are strictly vegan. Some say you need some, it just depends. But I'll tell you, they're all like, because, again, the hormones, as you were saying, we're the only species drinking from the teat of another species.
I know, it's just...
And even doctors will say when it comes to skin, hormones, anything, it's always and well, why do you, and here's why. Here's another thing. All I have to tell you is how many people are lactose intolerant. Your body will tell you. That wasn't that's a thing. Because again, of the hormones and it's not your grandmother's dairy either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, mammals reach a point in life where they stop producing the enzymes to digest lactose. It happens in all mammals because they know once you reach a certain age, you don't need your mommy's milk anymore because you're on things like solid food. And your body stops producing the enzymes to digest lactose.
Well, mine has. My breasts just produce glitter now.
They're fantastic too.
I know, and they're not real and they're fabulous. But so just do your own research. But this is obviously when you think that 80% of the illnesses are caused by food, therefore can be solved by this, and the chronic injuries. And by the way, 1 in 2 adults in the U.S. has diabetes. At least type 2. Type 1 is mostly caused by dairy.
So half the population.
Half the population has
what
diabetes.
The hell is wrong with people?
Well, that's because, the soda pop, again, lobbies, people, there are people who giving their 9-month-old Coca-Cola, look, the soda, again, even worse. And this, of course, talking to our fellow vegans and vegetarians, sugar, is awful. And of course, it's more addictive than heroin. But, you have, because, that's fine. And there's just so much more and everything. And there's a lot of hidden sugars. So, again, it's your body, live your life. But I just thought, it's been a while since on the show that we talked about some of the reasons we're doing this.
Yeah, of course.
And again, I can only speak with my own experience and yours. So for me, I don't know if it will be like this for you, but why not try it? For me, it really worked. And they say that you can start seeing the benefits of a vegan diet within 21 days. Why not try it? Now, a cautionary tale, I broke out horribly because I was detoxing.
You were detoxing. And now look at you. I mean, your
for
skin
me,
is phenomenal.
And for someone who's struggled with it, you have no idea how much that means, that I can go makeup free.
Well, and you have been, right? You would, previously, I know that you would put on concealers and foundations to kind of blend your skin tones out. And I'm looking at you right now, and you're not wearing anything.
I got a little sun too, which is another thing.
Yes.
I'm big on getting sun.
Well, so I think that's important too, right?
You've got to get your D.
We all need vitamin D. It's important to the metabolization of the foods that we ingest. So.
And listen, I'm a supplement queen, but you have to be careful there too because it's tough on your liver, right? So the more you can get from food. Again, nature tells us, and we'll be talking about our nature walk later on. But nature tells us what to do, right?
Well,
we have everything we need.
Of course, nature provides absolutely everything we do in its natural form. If we're eating properly, we should not need to supplement.
No, exactly. And even though, so I'm not taking 20 anymore, but I've got a few. And again, because I realize that, my liver has to process that. So again, everything in balance. But those are some of the reasons, because a lot of times we barely talk about anything. We're just here to
gossip,
have fun and gossip. And because we want it to be very light. And so here's the thing. It feels overwhelming. Like, oh my God, where do I even start? Which is why Michael's here. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Like, really, dudes, if I can do it. I've even started cooking, for God's sakes, which is
you're
obviously
phenomenal.
a sign of the apocalypse.
You are. You really are a phenomenal cook too, I have to say. Some of the dishes that you've prepared have been absolutely scrumptious.
It's creative, it's meditative, and it's easy.
And it's so easy,
stuff. And I feel
right?
like I'm making help, again. So, and also, look, this has all been during the pandemic when I've been stressed because, unlike you in real estate, my métier, my industry, yikes, right? It's been a stressful time.
It's going to be completely shut down.
It's been shut down. I also used to teach dance, like when you're teaching bar and dance 8 times a week, you'd think. So, I'm down in weight. And I'm not doing I'm doing all my online stuff, but it's never going to be the same as what I was doing. And obviously the stress factors have been very high. So I think I also did it in a controlled atmosphere that really shows it works. Imagine if it was normal and I was doing vegan, that's it. And they found, of course, the remains of gladiators, literal gladiators. This is cool, in Turkey. And we saw this on a documentary called Game Changers, and I hear it repeated on a lot of the things I'm researching. And they found, so these are gladiator warriors. They were vegan.
Yep.
So it also just dispels, again, it might not be for you, but it dispels some myths, because people say, well, you can't. And that I do weights 3 times a week, and it's not affected my pump game.
No, not so whatsoever.
No, or energy, because they always say you need animal protein to build muscles, but
I'm just going to call bullshit on that.
The Williams sisters are vegan, I believe. At least one of them is.
Yeah.
So
I'm just going to call bullshit on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about the strongest mammals on Earth, land,
right. Gorillas.
They're all vegans.
So
horses and cows and oxen, and they're all herbivores. They're not sitting down to a giant steak. I know they're. Well, having horses here, we know how strong they are.
Yes,
right?
we do. So, so that's why I'm sort of shouting it and saying, hey, or even if you just start sliding more into plant-based,
baby
you'll
steps,
see a big difference.
Baby steps. But I cannot emphasize enough how incredibly easy this is. Like in this particular, oftentimes perception is reality, but in this particular case, perception is not reality. It is easier than you think it is. In fact, I would go so far as to say that it's actually easier to prepare a vegan meal than it would a traditional steak and potato meal.
I think so too, because you have to worry about salmonella and cooking.
Oh,
See, I'm never worried about me effing up in the kitchen because I'm like, what? Nothing's gonna hurt us. And I'm someone who has had food poisoning in the past, and you don't really get food poisoning from vegan stuff. Like
it's true.
Nothing's gonna go horribly bad on you.
Exactly. It's so true. And oftentimes plant-based products have a longer shelf life as well.
Which is good. And I don't think it's necessarily any more expensive, because I think that's another myth. Where people well, yes, of course, crappy food's always going to be. That's, again, going back to the whole horrible politics of it.
Yeah.
They target lower socioeconomic groups. Fast food is cheap as chips, the $4 meals, and I get that. So, no, it's going to be a little more expensive than that, but it's your biggest investment is yourself.
100%.
So, my goodness, this is we only have. I always say these are just tuxedos we're renting, but we're going to rent it for a long time. You can't get ink stains all over it.
Well, I should hope you're renting it for a long time, and wouldn't you want to kind of remain in possession of your tuxedo for as long as possible?
Exactly. So,
my philosophy, and I've said it till I'm blue in the face: garbage in, garbage out. So we can't expect our bodies to support us if we're not supporting it. It's just incredibly easy. I can't stress enough how incredibly easy this transformation is. It really is. Does not need to be overcomplicated.
No, and to that point, I know you're going to do another but again, one of the biggest problems they say.
Are we talking lady bits again?
No, not lady bits. Okay. Relax. Oh my God. Jesus, fiance, relax. First of all, you've been living with me. I'm practically a dude.
Well, I was going to say, you're more dude than most dudes I know.
Yes, so I'm not really one to talk about the lady bits unless it's in context of a joke. Like my vagina having a pandemic. That's just for safety during a pandemic. But so a huge problem and a huge cause of disease. Really, no one needs to be a doctor for this. There's irritable bowel syndrome, and there's apparently everybody's constipated. And
really?
Yes. And so you can imagine if you're keeping in waste, how horrible that is for your body, because you're literally full of shit. And just as a vegan, you are more regular than an Amazon delivery man.
You're welcome.
You really are. And come on, like that's 101.
Of course.
And everybody feels great after, like, you want to have that. I don't know if it's the fiber. Sure. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I've just pooped out a Buick. It's fantastic. And again, you're eliminating toxins.
Well, for sure, right? And you're lighter. You're not sluggish. Who wouldn't want to feel better?
Because that way it doesn't come out on your face or come out those are poisons trying to get out. Our body's always doing. It's a marvelous machine when you think about it, right? So it's always trying to expel the toxins and get rid of them. So if you do it, if you're making that job easier, in and out like a Navy SEAL too, like people who take a whole magazine into the bathroom, that's not good. Like, I'll be 45 minutes. What? Are you giving birth?
What are you talking about?
Why is that lasting longer than labor?
I know.
So that's, those are little indications that,
Sure.
So now, having said that, we've got some fabulous stuff to tell you about. And I think that's why I wanted to talk about this, because this past week, you came out with the ultimate, certainly for someone like me, you found a vegan version of my favorite meal, which was not vegan. It's a Caesar salad. Everybody loves a Caesar salad, by the way, which originated in Mexico.
Did it
someone's
really?
Last name. I know everybody thinks it's Italian. No, it's Cesar was the fella's name.
Interesting.
And he made a delicious dish, and I will say that is one thing I miss, because that was my go-to.
Yeah.
Restaurants all the time. Sometimes could add protein.
We have a phenomenal recipe for Caesar salad, and it is, in my view anyway, better than the original.
Well, and way less caloric, because the chicks love it, but the Karens are, it's a lot of calories in the Caesar salad.
There really is, which is why it's really not a healthy choice long term.
No,
once in a while, it's okay, but your typical Caesar salad is not a healthy salad. It's drenched in fat.
No, a lot of salads aren't, but the three's dressed up as nice. But so not only did you find or create the most amazing Caesar salad dressing, you also found, get ready for it, people, because you're about to have an orgasm. I'm now lining my panties with this stuff. We found faux bacon. That's
We
amazing.
did. I know.
We've done the impossible for you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I just I happenstanced in, like, I hate tempeh. I'm not gonna, which is for those of you who don't. I just do not like tempeh. There's a texture. I don't know. I just don't like it. But it's a phenomenal source of protein. So I was, sauntering through the grocery store, and I noticed that Light Life. I'm gonna cough.
It's okay.
Pardon me. Light Life has this this bacon, and so I, drawn to it, pick up this package because it's, the one thing that is the worst possible thing for us. It's fat, high sodium. Not to mention the fact that we're, murdering animals with the intelligence of a 7-year-old.
Right.
It's the absolute worst thing for us.
It is, and what does it? I mean, bacon is the go-to for every joke, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because everyone loves bacon.
Well, sure. It's
listen,
salty.
I've been vegetarian. I had somebody be cooking bacon back in my neighborhood in LA, and I'd almost break in.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's very.
I know.
It's very seductive.
Well, of course it is. Of course it's. And it satiates, all of our desires, right? It's fatty, so it tastes good. It's high in sodium, so it tastes good.
Right.
Right. It's smoky, so it tastes good. Right. So light.
That's why smoky eyes are the hottest. Go on.
I'm gonna have to start wearing some mascara. So I found this Light Life bacon. So I pick up this package and I'm like, oh Jesus, it's tempeh. So I brought it home anyway. I figured, what the hell? The worst thing is it ends up in the garbage bin.
And we talk about it on the show and trash it.
Exactly, as we've done with a lot of other vegan products.
We're very honest, by the way. We're not in anyone's pocket.
Yeah, we're not going to BS you.
Yeah,
so if we say something's good, run out and get it. So we developed this kind of Caesar salad dressing, which makes me wet every time I think about it. It really is phenomenal.
We're having it tonight again.
We are.
I asked for it.
We are. It's so yummy. And then I just I crumbled up this Lifelite bacon and sauteed it in olive oil in a frying pan, and it was like, holy shit! I'm digging this. It would make an amazing sandwich. Some lettuce, tomato, and faux bacon sandwich. Like, it would be unbelievable. So
I remember there was a particularly stressful day going on, and I was ranting about something, and I just grabbed it, and I went, what? I was like a little baby with a soother.
All of your worries melted away.
I said, look, I'm too upset. There was an issue. I won't go into it. It's been resolved, but I was really upset. I'm like, I don't even think I can eat milk. I was like, what's this now?
Yes, we're having Caesar, darling.
I know. So good. And of course, obviously, Michael Stewart Webb's Caesar salad would be in the Dishless Vegan book.
It will be.
Because that's going to be, it's my new favorite. It's my new favorite of all the stuff that you make.
Well, and part of that, you were all over the tomato and basil salad, but this now has
I know. Well, that's our second salad to talk about because it's summer.
Oh, my God,
and we're tossing salads like we're in prison.
We are. Oh, my God. All of a sudden, I'm longing for a date.
I miss men.
That's too funny.
If the pandemic lasts any longer, Michael's going to commit a crime.
It's true. Out with some dudes. Holy shit.
I do my best, and obviously I'm packing a large penis, but I'm not a fella.
No.
As much as I act like one, I'm not a fella.
You're not a fella.
But yes, you came up with a simple 3-ingredient salad.
Tomato salad, which is just, again,
crazy good.
Phenomenal. Super easy,
Let's give
very
that
fresh.
recipe because we have, I know you don't want to give them all away, but we should give that one out on the show.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's super easy. Fresh basil, which is clutch.
So good.
I use, cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes for this salad. I really hate the texture of those big,
like beefsteak.
Yeah, those
tomatoes,
they're just mealy and gross. And I hate store-bought tomatoes at the best of times, but we live in Canada, so we have we're limited in terms of what kind of fresh produce we can get parts of the year. So I always use these cherry tomatoes. They're more flavorful. They're sweeter. They don't have that gross mealy texture. So I just have up these tomatoes. I throw them in a bowl. I julienne copious amounts of basil. I'm just adding
Faux feta cheese.
The faux feta by Violife, which is a phenomenal feta cheese. These probably hands down probably one of the best vegan cheesemakers. We've mass-produced vegan cheesemakers. There are some other smaller boutique fromageries, one being in Meaford, who do a phenomenal job, but it's low production.
Right.
And it's not as available as some of the larger production stuff like Violife. So as far as
and we've loved everything from Violife.
Oh yeah, we haven't disliked any of their products. They've been really phenomenal. So the Violife feta have cherry tomatoes, copious amounts of basil, just all tossed together with some seasoning, some Italian seasoning.
And a glaze.
And then we just drizzle a balsamic glaze over top, and it's like the most delicious, refreshing thing you've ever had.
So good on a super hot day.
Oh, delish. And it's low calorie, it's high nutritional content, and it's guilt-free. You could sit down and chow down an entire bowl of this stuff.
Yep, great when
have
guests
no guilt.
are coming over,
Sure.
which is opening up soon, or depending on where you're listening, open up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, super healthy, and remarkably delicious.
And satisfying. We're about ready to roll away from the table after one of those salads, right? So
wonderful, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
really yum.
Now,
Yum.
less delicious, but noteworthy as we tried another sausage for you.
We did. So we tried field roast, and I have the packaging right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can all see that, but it's field roast, Italian garlic and fennel, plant-based sausages. We did them on the barbecue. The flavor was really quite nice.
Yes,
but
good flavor, and I'm wondering if maybe it might do better in a pan with oil, because it didn't. But I love stuff on the barbecue, and we're all about the barbecue.
I know.
now.
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, our grill season is microscopic, right? So let's get out there. And the nice thing about the grill too is, you can be out socializing. You and I, we sit out on the deck and we chat while I'm barbecuing, and there's just something kind of, nostalgically delicious about the whole ritual of cooking over fire.
Yes, it's fantastic. And depending where you're listening to us from, for some places in the world, pretty limited season.
Totally.
Like LA, it's fine. I can do it year round.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you want to jump out and spend as much time outside as possible.
Absolutely.
Because we don't really have a lot of it.
Exactly.
And this stuff was a little drier than paint. Like it was really dry.
It was, again, the taste was there, but it was super dry. And part of the whole experience surrounding food is it's got to please all the senses, right? That is what makes a good meal a good meal. It's hitting all of the senses. And so texturally, this thing was like,
Yeah, and again, nothing comes, I'm telling you, it's in league by itself. And by the way, even with Beyond Meat, our favorite, that's not something for every day. That's not the most healthy thing you can, if you're trying this diet out, you still want to keep it more plant-based. Like even the meat substitutes and some of the stuff is, you want maybe have a few times a week. That's fine, but you don't want to be having it
as a staple
every meal.
No, and you do want to switch up.
So mofo and good.
Yeah, it's really the Beyond Meat stuff is clutch. And I'll just say that it does still have 33% less fat than the equivalent animal product.
Of course, the better choice.
But you're right. I mean, it's not something you want to be belling up to every night of the week.
You sounded like Fargo there.
Did I? Oh my God. Do I have a Minnesotan accent all of a sudden?
Sometimes.
It was all those years I spent in corporate. I had spent a fair amount of time in Minnesota.
Hey, speaking of corporate, I'm going to jump in now because you have some really exciting news as your empires continue to build, you big mogul.
Oh, stop
Now,
it.
First of all,
Tell me more.
I want to say this first because, again, as you may have heard me say in previous broadcasts, I'm not entirely certain that Michael Stewart Webb is human. So maybe your whole vegan is bullshit because as an alien, it comes easy to you. But because you can do everything well, you finally let me listen to some of the music that you composed. And it's really fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
It's really my kind of thing. It's upbeat and dancey, and it's just great. So thank you for sharing yet
Well,
another
thank
gift.
you.
Boy, the person next to you in God's assembly line, they got nothing. They're just making farty noises under their arms, right? Like that's all they've got. Michael took it all. He took all the hair and he took all the talent.
Oh my God.
But yes, so
stop.
music is your passion. And to that, you're kind of entering more into the music industry because you've become a manager.
I have, yeah. So my media company. So everyone knows I'm a realtor and I have my own real estate team. But I launched this year a media company, and I'm distracted. There is a fly that keeps flying in front of our camera, just so you know. So anytime those of you who are going to be watching this on YouTube, that big black blob is not a Sasquatch; it's a fly, actually.
I know.
Flying across the lens of the camera. But
very Amityville. I know.
Truly.
That's the only part of country living I haven't embraced.
Is the insects?
Yes, I can't stand the insects.
It's nature.
I've got bites on my bites. I know. But
it's nature.
Step aside, fly.
I know.
I thought I was made of honey. Maybe that's you attract more flies with honey. That doesn't make any sense what I just said. Well,
that's okay.
Not for the first time.
What's in your glass?
What? I know. Just water and cherry juice.
Which is also good for you. Good detox.
It is. It is. So go on.
All right. So I launched a media company this year, and we're dealing with a whole pile of different opportunities with various clients, whether that be corporate branding or helping with product placement or package design or building websites and what have you.
I'm a head writer, by the way.
You are, and you're doing a phenomenal job.
It's fun.
So one little leg of which has been a passion project for me is because you've said I'm an audiophile. Music has always been something that's very near and dear to my heart ever since childhood. And so one branch of this media group is artist management. So very, very, very excited to have announced just the end of last month that we signed award-winning country singer-songwriter Graham True to our management group. So he just released his first single. He was formerly, he's always enjoyed a solo career, but
then he was with the Singing Soldiers.
He was with the Singing Soldiers, who appear on your Carla Collins Rocks the Almo as guests.
Yes, I was on our season finale, as a matter of fact.
Great, great guys, musicianship bar none. So Graham decided that he wanted to go back to his solo career, and so he signed with my media company, and we're managing him now. And so he just released his next single. His first single as he returns to his solo career, entitled PTSD, just in time for Mental Health Awareness Month and Men's Health, which is the month of June. And so this thing, a week old, he's now placing 7th in the most downloaded country indie artists in the country.
Yes.
So a week, and he's placed number 7.
Talented.
He is so freaking talented, and I'm absolutely honored to be partnering with him. And we're having some really incredible conversations with people who are coming after us, wanting to work with us.
Yeah.
And
you're co-writing a song.
I am. Yes, I'm co-writing not the next release, but the next tune. By the way, EP is coming out later this year. So Graham's EP will be out this year. And I am co-writing some stuff with him. And so much to my glee and my overwhelming adulation for Mark Zuback, who is a prominent Canadian producer who's worked with the likes of a lot of the big industry heavy hitters, is actually producing the song that I'm co-writing with.
Pretty clutch.
With Graham. So I'm really super excited about that. And, yesterday we just had a meeting with Dean Miller, who's an American producer out of the U.S., who's worked with everybody and he sought Graham out, as a matter of fact. So he's worked with everyone from Dolly Parton to, anyone who's anyone in the American country music scene.
They're making a splash. So PTSD, you can download it, check it out.
Yeah, available on all streaming platforms. Go to iTunes. That's probably best place to hop on it and download it. So yeah, super excited. Thanks for bringing that up, darling.
Well, of course, Halston. Also, as your fiance, it really just behooves me for you to just keep getting more and more successful because there's no prenup. And I don't have to put out.
The truth comes out.
Don't have to put out. No prenup.
I know. It's
win.
It's the best relationship for you, too.
It's been spectacular. As I just said, when I go back to LA, I'm only taking one suitcase back. Can I leave some stuff? And you're like, oh, sure. And she's in. Like a bad one-night stand. I'm just going to take this drawer, honey.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's like leaving your toothbrush behind.
I know. And you know me, I'm such a commitment phobe with straight guys. Like, bye! Ghost. Casper. No. But with fiance, I'm like, I'm going to take this bedroom.
It's all yours.
You good with this?
It's all yours.
So, yes. So that's very exciting. Well, also because, it's a wonderful thing when you get to do what you're passionate about,
I'm having the time of my life.
It really is. And you're so good and you love it. And so I always like to see you lit up like a Christmas tree in the Bellagio. And I think it's going to be exciting. And, of course, Graham's a friend. So I'm thrilled for you both.
Well, thanks,
Plus,
Liza.
I could also make fun of country music the whole time where I'm going, putting shine on it. I put a little extra twang.
Oh, my God.
Twang when because, I have the musical taste of a 14-year-old girl because all my stuff is just, what can I teach dance to? And by dance, I mean at Gold's Gym.
Oh, my God.
So I'm always pop sister. And then I'm like, is that a country song? Did you lose your truck and your woman?
All you have to do is play backwards. They'll come back again.
I know.
Oh, my God. That's the joke, right?
It is. So, yeah. So that's fabulous. And
yeah, super excited. A lot of really phenomenal, very exciting things happening. So really, really thrilled about it. Yeah. So stay tuned for some more exciting stuff coming down the pipeline from our media group and the one and only Graham Trude, who's a phenomenal human being. Aside from being a ridiculously talented musician, he's a phenomenal human being. That's
always a bonus, isn't it? You get to work with people you love.
Exactly.
Who are douchebags, which hence the doucheless vegan.
No douches allowed.
And actually, Mokel Michael did take a day off on Victoria Day, and we had the most spectacular hike ever.
So good.
I was so completely.
You were having a great time.
Oh, transported. I wrote 5 more comedic meditations. Like, it was glorious. We were on the Bruce Trail, Blue Mountain. It was the perfect day, not too hot, not too cold. And we walked for literally hours. By the way, I would still be there. And that was over a week ago if it wasn't for Michael, because I'm like, I don't know how long we've been going. I have no idea where I am. I have a zero sense of direction. I get lost in this home. I get lost in a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm like, which way did it come in? So it was so glorious.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you,
the weather was perfect for it.
And anyone could go out and walk. My God, spend any moment in nature, right? And especially the forest, like they always say, woods or water. If you're by a lake or a stream, by the way, there's like a million babbling brooks, so all the senses were fired up, right? You could hear the running water. You could smell the beautiful saps and flowers and fresh air, hear the birds singing. And it was just like, it was like one of those trees, like if a Grimm's fairy tale worked out well, like it really looked otherworldly. It was all enchanted in there. Yeah. So it was, it was wonderful. It was like,
oh my God,
God's Airbnb.
It was phenomenal. Honest to God. I had the best time. The weather was terrific. It was beautiful and sunny, but it wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. There was a beautiful breeze coming off of Georgian Bay. It really was just an amazing day out. And, I think it was something that we both needed to do too, right? I mean, we both been cooped up for a long time.
Exactly. I feel like, and no one had masks on. It didn't feel pandemic-y. Speaking of that, a few days before that, we found ourselves by the beach. I forgot to mention this.
Oh, yeah.
We did try something else out for you. So there we were in Wasaga Beach.
It was the same day, was it not?
No, it was
was
it was
it?
the same weekend.
Oh, okay.
This was the Friday. My
you're right. Yeah.
memory. When it was balls hot.
Yes.
And I said, hey, let's go to Burger King. Words I've never said, by the way, unless I've been really drunk. No, I don't think I've ever been to a Burger King, but we went to Burger King because they're now offering, as of April 12th, all over Canada at least, and I'm sure all over the States, they offer the Impossible
Burger, yes, which is designed to compete with Beyond Meat. And let's just be real, there's no competition here.
No, it's not bad, though. We wanted, like, props for the fact that it was the size of my head.
Yeah, it was a huge...
size of a Frisbee.
It's a manly meal.
It is. If you're starving, get the Impossible Whopper, and also the fixings, like the toppings were very fresh.
Oh yeah, I was
delightful.
Absolutely, I was completely impressed with the way Burger King, and like you, this is the first time I've ever eaten at Burger King in my entire life. So props to them.
They got that creepy mascot, like the king wakes up in your bedroom, and those ads kind of scarred me. I'm like, I don't want to wake up to that paper mache king who's like really creepy. Like, don't cancel Pepe Le Pew, cancel the Burger King. Why is he in my bedroom?
Could be Grimace in your bed.
I wouldn't mind Grimace. I'm not really certain what Grimace is.
Oh my God, I don't think anybody is.
What the hell's going on there?
I don't know, some just big purple blob.
I don't even know who he represents in McDonaldland. Is he supposed to be the shake guy?
I don't know.
What's a Grimace? He looks like one of the
horrible
ghosts
name
from Pac-Man. I know. Well, yeah, it's sort of creepy.
It's not a happy name.
No, Grimace. Well, the Hamburglar.
I know, he's funny too.
The word burgle makes me laugh every time. Oh my God, I was just burgled.
Buy a hamburger.
I know. Which both ways. And the stripes, the horizontal stripes aren't
slimming, it's never a good
They're not
look.
Slimming, but yeah. So, it just felt really like a break from COVID, for God's sake.
Oh, it was
as
so
it's
nice.
lasting so long, I've got imaginary friends with benefits. Like, it's enough.
It was so nice.
It was glorious.
The weather was great too, and and you and I are both people watchers, right? So
love the characters.
it was nice just to get out. So we went to the Burger King on the beach, on the boardwalk, and in Wasaga Beach, and we just sat there and enjoyed watching people frolic in the water, and
I know
it was just so nice. It was like, can we do more of this? This was a little taste of what life used to be like before the apocalypse, you know?
And a reminder to get out there. There's just no substitute for real sunshine.
No.
And speaking of that, so I was reading something where someone said that the secrets to the universe are downloaded in codes via sunshine. And if you can't get sunshine, what we did the other night, which was delicious, we lit a bonfire.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
And again, so if those aren't accessible to you, they say it even works with a candle, which is the magic of a candle. Just have a bath with some candle. Like, again, it was just such a great... you got to change the wallpaper, my mom used to say. You just got to change your environment, your surroundings
completely.
for a bit.
Completely.
And nothing bit like nature is the tits. That I'm just transported back to that walk through the woods. I mean, it was a moving meditation.
Yeah.
I was completely gone for some of it.
Oh, well, you were. It was. Yeah. I kept asking you, "Are you all right back there?" Because you just kind of went silent, and
which is rare, as you can imagine, and probably very welcome. So for everyone listening who's like, how do I shut that bitch up? Take me out into nature.
It was great. It was transformative. Filled us both up,
nice.
Spiritually. And it was good exercise too. I felt great for days afterwards, just getting out and getting a little bit of exercise,
So again, while things, if you're somewhere like us where the gym's still not open just get out there and walk. I mean, I take the Chihuahua out. I'm walking the Chihuahua, not a euphemism. That sounds like I woke up and walked the Chihuahua is not me masturbating. Just going for walks. And it sounds so simple, but it just does so much good for your psyche.
It really
we
does.
Sit at a computer and we get, and
we get complacent.
Been hella stressful times.
Yes.
And just getting up and stretching. Well, they say you do this every day. Like, just move. Doesn't matter how. If it's a couple of yoga positions. As you know, I'm in the warrior quite a bit. No, I'm as flexible as my morals.
You're very bendy.
I'm very bendy. You're welcome. But, just a couple of yoga positions to start things off, walk, whatever it is, you really need to move. You need to move the body. Like, it's, I always say that nutrition, which is why we're chatting this up, so important. but moving just as much. And for a variety of reasons, like there was this one YouTube video. I go down the YouTube rabbit hole quite a bit. One was SNL. It's a variety of, if anybody sees my browser history, they're like, I don't know what this chick was up to, but tell me more. One was the 17 top foods for beauty, like for appearances, and 15 out of the 17 were vegan.
Interesting.
Means number 17 was fish. You're always going to get the omega-3, right? So you can find something else with omega-3s, like I believe avocados, which of course were on there. And they also mentioned yogurt. But you can also get vegan yogurt.
You can get vegan yogurt, yes.
So all 17 nuts, pickles, which is great because I blow through pickles like a woman pregnant with triplets.
Yes, it's true.
So there were so many, then certain kinds of nuts. So you can Google that. And another thing about it's not just about your body and your physical health, mental health for foods, right?
Completely.
Again, the fast food isn't doing you any favors. I know it tastes good at the time, but it's really shitty for your mental health.
Well, what tastes good? Good food, right? It in my view tastes a lot better than a Big Mac.
Oh, yeah. Big Macs are pretty delicious.
But it's
funny enough, McDonald's does not have a vegan.
I know, and we were commenting.
Which is odd for the
they're
big boys.
coming out with one though. Remember, and
that's
what McPlant or some bullshit like that.
McPlant sounds
How
really
very
bad
original.
To me. McPlant sounds like an Irish spider plant.
Oh my god!
Sounds like an Irish ficus.
Just
the Irish ficus. By the way, we were somewhere where we heard 3 hours of the Irish Rovers. I can't stop talking about it.
I know.
I can't
it's
stop
true.
talking about it.
She can't stop talking about it.
Really? Because that's what the kids are into the Rovers, and that's alarming to me. These are young kids playing the Irish Rovers now.
Oh my god! It was funny.
Because here's how the Irish Rovers sound to me: horking in the fluvog, horking in the fluvog, horking in the fluvog. Anyway.
No one should.
But I digress.
No one should.
Wasn't McPlant one of the names of one of the Irish Rovers? I didn't even know those.
Don't know. I really don't
alive.
know much about the Irish Rovers. I have to say.
And I dig that about you. But yes, so and the Friends reunion. That was big.
Yeah, you watched that. I did not.
No,
you said it was like.
No,
I thought you
didn't watch
had.
it. I just watched. I just heard the reviews. No, because it wasn't HBO. And look, in the day, I totally dug Friends, right? It's a little out of touch now. But my joke was, if I want to see a group of really, really rich people, they got $2.3 million each for doing the reunion.
Really?
If I wanted to see a group of really, really rich people who've had a bunch of work done, be interviewed by an annoying guy, I would just watch the next Real Housewives of Orange County reunion. Because for some reason, like, again, how do you make the Friends reunion more white? James Corden, why was he interviewing them? James Corden wasn't even around in the 90s. Like, I don't even understand what that had to do with anything, but a lot of people love it. I mean, I'm making jokes because I'm a comedian, so don't be like, you were pooping all over Friends. They're fine. But like my brothers saw it, I think people who, it was nostalgic for a lot of people. And
I had no interest in watching any of it. I have no idea what. I made the mistake of watching the 90210 reboot, which horrified me. I'm still not over that one.
It was scar because there's nothing I love more than 90210. Like, I really know a lot. The original. I loved it. That was a coming of age show for us.
Oh, completely. Completely.
And there was never better sexual tension between anyone than there was Dylan and Brandon.
I know.
People say Brenda or Kelly. I'm like, how about Dylan and Brandon? There was such a good brose of it. I mean, I love Luke Perry.
Yeah.
My other joke
Sadly,
was, Luke Perry's so awesome that he died, so he didn't have to do the reboot. He's like, I gotta keep my legacy intact.
Yeah, and he was, God rest his soul, a phenomenal human being by all accounts too.
Oh my God, so phenomenal. Well, I had the pleasure of interviewing him.
Yes, that's right.
And was always kind of in love with him. And what was wonderful is his last appearance was in a Tarantino movie. So you gotta like that. And his sons took out a billboard in Hollywood.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, when he passed.
Yeah, tragic loss.
So that's a great last credit to have.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So yeah, like, here's the thing, and I think Fiona OBrien, how much I adore that.
Yes, phenomenal
crazy Irish woman
comedian.
I need to write a buddy film for Fiona and I. Plus, she has a gay son, and I think I should move in because she keeps asking me questions. So, call him my godson. It's his first Pride. By the way, happy Pride, because we're in June. Happy
is
Pride
it Pride?
Month.
That's something else I don't follow.
Happy Pride Month from your favorite hag. That's me. You don't get a better hag unless you go Miss Piggy. Right here, bitches. what was I saying now?
Oh, we were talking about Fiona's.
Oh yeah, so Fiona
gay
said,
son.
you know, for me the Friends reunion is a bit like how I want to see a closed casket. Like, so I wish some things would just ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
You know, that because then they stay like that in your mind. You have that great screenshot, you know, for lack of a better word, of the 90210 gang, and it's part of your youth or your coming of age or your young adulthood. Yeah. And then these people always come back. Like, I get it. If somebody rolls up a dump load of, you know, if somebody backs up a truckload of money for me, I'm all coming back for the Paradise Falls reunion or any of the number of shows. Of course I would say yes. I get it. But maybe people want to remember from that. Like, you know, I just want to keep it as a memory. And social media and all these reunions and reboots. Also, do we not have any original ideas?
Well, one has to wonder.
And I would have to watch the Halston instead of the Friends reunion.
Exactly. Yeah, it was so much better. But I have to wonder if these reboots in some way don't damage one's career. You know, like I don't know
for $2.3 million, everybody will take that damage, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, would they? I don't know that I would. If I was a successful actor and someone invited me to, you know, come back for a bucket of money to do something I know is going to be horrible, if I would want to do that. And I don't know who's. I don't know
if it was like, you know, there were mixed reviews. I don't know if it was horrible, but I think it would.
Well, the reboot of 90210 was.
Yes.
I did not understand any of that.
Preserve the magic. And doesn't mean you have to go away. Just come back. Madonna that shit up or something. Come back in another version or on another show, or we'll embrace it. Yeah. But move on.
Yeah, do something with your creativity, right? And I know I'm flogging a dead horse here, but I don't have any idea whose idea that was to do the 90210 reboot.
It was Tori's.
Was it Tori's? I was worried it was Tori's.
Friend of the show.
I know. Sorry, Tori.
Yes.
Love you, but hated your show.
Well, I think also none of us knew that it was actually a reality show loosely based on themselves. I thought it was a continuation.
Well, that's what I thought too. And I was
so
like, what are they doing?
We saddled up to watch it. There was a whole group of gals in LA and we're like, what is this?
I know what's going on. I don't understand. I'm sorry.
So, yeah.
Sorry, Tori. Sorry, Dean. We hated your wife's show.
Well, you know, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion, yo.
It's true.
That's how it is. Now, we could all agree that Pandemic is fantastic.
It is. And can we just talk about that for a second? So you received word this week, which is unfreaking heard of. So pay attention, everybody.
No, well, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, we submitted it to the Sirius XM stations in the U.S. because our buddy Ben Miner and the JFL station here in Canada plays it, and we sent it to him. And hopefully I'll be chatting with Ben again soon. But yeah, they said all 13 tracks.
Which is unheard of.
But it was like, I don't know if it is or not, but their email was full of exclamation marks and caps. And they said, please submit more. So that was wonderful to hear. Yeah, so it'll be playing, well, they're recommending it be played, but so it'll be playing on Raw Dog and on She's So Funny.
Which is
in the U.S.
an incredible coup. Everyone wants to be on Raw Dog, right?
Yeah. So I've gotten a couple of really great reviews. And a couple more are coming. So
it's a phenomenal album.
Really
and
nice to hear. Because, guys, you've heard, like, sometimes, like, it was just done under crazy circumstances. It was, there's less than 50 people in the crowd because it's during, it was in between shutdowns. The 2 weeks everything was open. That there was some crazy billionaires heckling me through both nights. So we had to work around that. I was thinking I just put out an album last year, so I thought I hope there's enough new stuff. And, behold, there was. I put it out. They put it into the new age category. So, I had Yanni, Enya, and Zamfir on my ass for the first 6 weeks of its release. So then you and I re-released it last week because now it's in the stand-up category. So I'm really kind of tickled that there's some wonderful news, because sometimes you think, okay, what is this do? Like, what's going on? What's going on here? But yeah, so I'm pretty thrilled that
all 13 really tracks, people being recommended for rotation. So
yeah, it's great.
And that, and let's just if I can for a second, speak to this one just a little bit more. So when we think about a musician, for example, who releases an album of 13 tracks, how many of those tracks go into rotation on the radio? If they're lucky, 4, 5, maybe. All 13 of your tracks have been recommended for rotation.
So I don't know if that's unusual or not. I think maybe. I don't know.
Well, everyone you've talked about has said, "Are you serious? That's crazy. It's unheard of."
Well, I think it's great, and probably a little different for comedy, but yeah, especially because I was a little afraid due to the fact that we recorded it here in Canada, and I'm a good old Canadian gal, that maybe it would be too Canadian, but obviously they know who Trudeau is. Yes, there are Trudeau jokes. So if you haven't, check it out.
It's a great album.
I think you'll really enjoy it. And
it's a great album. In fact, one of my friends, Louis, today was cursing you. I had gifted him your album. And he was like, "Damn, Carla, I'm not getting any work done. I'm supposed to be working, but instead I'm listening to your album."
Yay, thanks, Louis. I know, fun. So, yeah, I was like, maybe I'll be the only one with an album out. There are probably fewer albums out. Obviously, things are opening up now. Or people just went down to Texas or Florida and recorded their album because that never closed. Those two places never closed. But, and it's a nice way to support comedians, and I'd love you to listen to it.
Yeah, you should.
I'm just so thrilled for the feedback because, you put your stuff out there, especially during these crazy times. So it was a little bit different of an album for me. So I'm really happy that
it's a phenomenal album.
Yay.
You won't be disappointed.
No, and just really just checking out my hair on the cover alone.
Oh, the cover art is ridiculous.
And we've started on the next album.
Yes.
Gay Fiance came up with a great name, and we'll be working on that one next.
Can't wait. Hercules.
Going to put that one out by the end of the year.
Yes.
Which is great. That's right.
Stay tuned for that announcement,
You want more
too.
serious? You got it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So proud of you.
So fun. I get all shy. It's like
I know. I think that's endearing.
How to quiet me. Put me out in nature, or maybe a compliment. And I'm like,
know.
I don't know. Shut up. You're crying. What's wrong with me?
I think it's endearing.
Always an awkward teen.
But it speaks to modesty, which is truly endearing.
Ah, wow.
I love you, darling.
Oh, I love you so much.
I love you.
I know. We had such a love fest the other night by the fire.
Yeah, we did.
That's us. What are you going to do? Well, thank you for joining us. I think,
yes.
So I just thought we should do a little re-up of why we're here. And again, there's zero pressure, vegan, non-vegan, vegan curious, a vegan one-off.
Yep.
Give it a try, and especially some of these recipes. And and our book will be out by the end of this year.
Yes,
ma'am. So that's another, as I said, it's a lot easier than you think.
It's so easy. And honestly, people, you have absolutely nothing to lose.
No.
Except your mortality.
Except your chronic illness.
Exactly.
Or looking your age.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I'm 106 and look at this.
I know, it's phenomenal. Your skin is unfucking believable. Can I tell you? My first F-bomb, by the way, of the entire show today. Normally, I usually sneak a couple in there.
I know. I have to say, listen, for that reason alone, deep as lunch tray, fully will say that often vanity trumps everything else in my life. But very, very grateful. And I know anyone who's struggled with this, you always empathize. Listen, it's your face. Mm-hmm. Sort of a hazmat suit or a burqa. What do you do? Okay?
Well, it's the first thing everybody sees, right? You are judged on your appearance.
Yeah.
People judge you by the first thing they see, which is your face.
So I'm thrilled not to have a zit that was visible from the moon.
Yeah. Well, you look great.
Time I had one that kept coming out on my forehead, and I thought I was morphing into a unicorn. That was the only spin I could put on that. That was the you could only. So yeah, I'm very thrilled. So for me, as a newcomer to vegan world, I'm just saying try it out and see, because it's really worked for me.
The benefits outweigh any cons that there could be that you might perceive as being inconvenience for this lifestyle. But really, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Be a vegan vixen.
Oh, yeah. We should put that on a T-shirt.
Again, how to live a delicious life without being a dick. But again, be a vegan or don't, because that's not our jam, as you know. We're just telling you about our scene. Oh, there's Duke.
Oh, yes,
Duke always makes an appearance. He's such a show pony.
I know.
Every
loves
time
being
I did
on
a comedy show
camera.
on Saturday, 3 or 4 comics before me, no sign of Duke. It's like, and now please welcome Carla Collins. Duke, boom. Oh, am I on?
Hijacking your set.
Every time. This guy completely
I know.
steals.
He loves it.
I can't compete with this beautiful Great Dane.
I know. He's going to need his own TikTok.
My boyfriend. We'll dress Duke up in crop tops or something.
Jesus.
Like 90s hip hop artists and see if we can't make some money off of this beast.
Yes, you better believe it.
Love you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.